You're listening to the Empty Nest Empires podcast, episode number 11. Ha! I'm so happy to be in the double digits with you already. Today, hang on, because I'm going to go on a bit of a rant, and I'm going to remind you that you are not too old, and it's never too late to learn something new, start something new, and step into your purpose. Hang on, I've got some examples for you to encourage you on this journey. Okay, your nest is empty, or it will be within a few years. So now what? Whether you know it or not, we are building empires. Empires of faith, family, fun, fitness, and of course, finance. And those empires are the legacy we leave for our loved ones. I'm Tammy Romani, an empty nester mom, grandma, and entrepreneur with a vision for ever greater things in the years ahead. It's never too late, and there is no limit to what we can do. I'm so happy you're here. Now let's get to building. I'm here to rant a little bit right now, and let me tell you why. I turned 60 this year, and I heard again this week someone actually say the words, "Oh, I don't do email because I'm old." Or, "I have a dumb phone, not a smartphone, because I can't learn how to do all those things and use it because I'm old." Oh my gosh, it makes me crazy, and I'll tell you why. My mom had me at 40. Now, for some people, their life is over at 40. I'm hearing it all over the place, and I'm hearing it especially. We're moving into a new year, a new decade, and I want to encourage. I have a goal next year of encouraging women that you're not too old and it's not too late for you. And let's find the thing you're supposed to do. Because, oh my goodness, I'm just seeing it so much. But I did a quick search. And so I want to encourage you today that you are not too old and it's never too late to start something new. Okay? So I'm going to pull up a little document I made today. And I am going to give you a rundown. Now, if you do any Google search, just people who are successful later in life, anything like that, you will come up with some of these same names. But I want to share them with you and remind you that you're not too old and it's not too late to start something new. There's some pretty incredible stories out there, and these are just the ones that come up on a Google search. I personally know a woman who ran her first marathon at 74 years old. She's in her 90s now, and she's down to doing just 5Ks, but she's still running in races all the time. 74. She didn't even tell her family that she was training for the Los Angeles Marathon. She kind of just told them after she did it. And she did it to get her health back. And now she's well into her 90s. And now they all run 5Ks together and have a blast doing it. So, honestly, there's something you are supposed to do. There's something you're supposed to do. And I want to encourage you by telling you a few stories of the more famous names. Now, you can Google any of these names and get the full story, but I'm just going to do a quick run through for you because I just want you to take away from this that you've got time. You're not done. When that woman said to me, "I don't do email because I'm old," she had to be at least 10 years younger than me. My mom didn't learn email till she was in her 80s because it hadn't been invented yet. And when it was, she was so happy that she could now email her family and keep in touch with people rather than because her hands were weaker, but she could type. But she didn't want to handwrite all those things. It was a blessing to her. So, of course, she learned how to use it. Sorry. The woman who said that to me, I didn't say anything because I didn't know what to say, really. When someone says something to you like, "I don't do this because I'm old," I want to say, no, that's not why you don't do that. But, you always have to be loving and kind and have a good answer for people. So I just kind of let it slide. But it really has been bothering me. And I do get that I can't change everyone's mind. But I do want to let you know, because you're a listener and you understand that there's more for you, or you wouldn't be a listener to my podcast, Empty Nest Empires, or watching me on social media. I want to let you know that you're not too old. So here's just a few highlights for you. I read the books by Laura Ingalls Wilder to my kids when they were little. What I did not know is that she was 43 years old when her daughter first encouraged her to write about her childhood. And she wasn't picked up by anyone, no publisher, no one would pick her up. And then, do you know how old she was when finally she reworked those into a fiction series? She was 65 when Little House on the Prairie series was published. 65 years old. And think about what we would not have had if she hadn't pursued that and persevered. Susan Boyle, who remembers her triumphant entry into the Got Talent franchise? I believe she was on Britain's Got Talent, and everybody was looking at her like, oh, what are you doing here? And then she opened her mouth, and she was 47 years old when she took that leap of bravery, I might add. 47. Betty White. Let's talk about Betty White. Come on. The queen of TV. She's well into her 90s. Gosh, she might be 100 now. No, we would have had a big party for that. I think she's in her 90s. But she dabbled. She was in things. Before she was on Golden Girls, she earned an Emmy for her performance as Sue Ann Nivens on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and she was 53 when she got that Emmy. There's still hope for you actresses out there and actors. That Emmy might be coming. Regis Philbin, who remembers when he was live with Regis and Kathy Lee? Do you know he was 57 when he got that job? He did have decades of success, but not in the public eye, not that we would see. How about Helen Mirren? She was successful on London stages, but before she made it to Broadway and before she made it into movies, she put in her hours, she put in her time. She made it across the pond to Broadway at age 49, but her first on-screen role came in her late 50s, and her first Oscar at 61 for her performance as Queen Elizabeth II. Katherine Jostin is another actress. She had a career as a nurse, but then she gave it up to pursue acting. She was started as a street performer in Disney World at 53 years old. 3 years later, she was in Hollywood, playing guest roles on television series, and at 60, she became famous for her role as a personal secretary in The West Wing. Got her Emmy at 66. 66. Come on, I'm only 60. There's still time for me to win that Emmy. Yay! Samuel L. Jackson, another actor who did not get a big role until he was 46. Now let's go to some other non-acting familiar names. Henry Ford. How many of you drive a Ford? Do you know when he founded that company and found success with the Model T Ford? He was 45. He started a company that still lives on today. Julia Child got her TV show at 51. And I love this one. Okay, who's been to a restaurant and that's nice enough where you actually see the Zagat rating on a restaurant? Do you know that's after a couple named Tim and Nina Zagat? Zagat? Did I say it right? I'm not sure on how you say that. They were both 51-year-old lawyers when they published their first collection of restaurant reviews in 1979. They both left their jobs a year later to found their survey company. Donald Fisher and his wife Doris founded The Gap, a place where we've bought jeans for our kids for years. He was 41 when he founded that company. All right? This is one that it's so funny growing up. This woman is much older, lived a long time ago, an artist named Grandma Moses. Did you ever hear about her from your parents growing up? I did, and I didn't know who she was. Her name was Anna Mary Robertson Moses, and she was a American folk art painter. Do you know when she started painting? 78. 78. Her work was featured on postage stamps, which was it's a huge deal now, but it was a huge deal in the 1940s when that happened. And she lived to be 101. After her death, she had a painting. Well, she didn't. Her estate had a painting sell for over $1 million. Here's another author, Harry Bernstein. And you know what he says? This is a direct quote. My 90s were the most productive years of my life. Can you imagine saying that? I hope I get to say that. Oh, wow, that actually kind of gets me excited. He published his memoir called The Invisible Wall, A Love Story That Broke Barriers. He published that at 96 years old. The book is about his childhood, his relationship with his mother and his alcoholic father. And you know what? At 96, he then went on to publish 2 more books. Listen, you are not too old, and you're not done. You're not done. There is something great for you to do. We could go on. Sam Walton, who created Walmart. My goodness, he was 44 when he got that idea. Martha Stewart, 41 when she was very first published in Entertaining. Viola Davis, Jane Lynch, Judi Dench. I mean, honestly, I feel like my list could go on and on. And again, we all know people who fit the bill, right? We all know people. I'd love to hear some of yours. I'd love to hear some of your stories of people who have started something later in life and then went on to do even greater and greater things. So this one is short and sweet today. I just want to let you know that it's not too late. You have something you're supposed to do. Let's help you discover what that is. Okay? Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you so much, and I hope this has sparked something in you. My inspiration is my mom most of the time because she had me at 40, so honestly, I did not see her slowing down at all. And she lived to be 90 and worked up until I think she retired at about 74. Yeah, I'm just 60. When I think in those terms, I feel like there's a lot ahead for me, and there is for you too. So thanks for joining me today. I will see you next time. In the meantime, let me know either someone you know who inspires you or what you think you are going to do in 2020 that will give you new purpose in your life. All right, thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, what you've just listened to is my rant on Facebook Live the other day. After someone said those dreaded words to me, I don't do that thing because I'm old. Now, if you've listened, you've heard all of my arguments against that, some inspiration that I hope you'll take to heart because you are not too old and it is not too late. Now listen, if you are feeling called to something bigger and you have no idea where to begin, I have been studying the world of digital marketing for 8 years. It has taken me this long to figure it all out, and now I've got the strategy to share with you to shorten that learning curve for you. I mean, who's got 8 years, right? Let's pare that down to maybe a year, and let's see what we can do with you establishing an online presence and stepping into your purpose and your calling that you really feel you need to do. Okay, so I've got a place where you need to go. TammyRomani.com/VIP waitlist. Now this will get you on my waiting list for when I open the doors to the Empire Builders Collective membership. Right now I've got founding members in there. We're testing out some things. We're tweaking some things. We have been studying together. We've been masterminding together. And I want to unleash this on you in the new year. So go to that link, TammyRomani.com/VIP waitlist. Get your name on the list because in 2020, you are going to step into that call. I know it, and I want to help you. It would bring you so much joy. So get on that list. If you missed it, TammyRomani.com/VIP waitlist. I will post that in the show notes, and let's get you moving towards a new thing in these years, okay? I can't wait. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.